Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Every Day is Friday, Podcast 365. I'm your host, Matthew, and remember to subscribe so you can join me on this journey where every day is Friday. Come on now. Today, I got a special guest joining us. I have Tavon Anthony. He is a Muay Thai fighter, a content creator, a performer slash musician, and he blends all of that together on his content on social media. Tavon, thank you for being here, man.
Dude, thanks for having me, brother. That awesome intro. I'm like, oh, he's naming it all.
Yeah, how you doing, and how's life been treating you lately?
I'm doing all right. Life's it's just everything's kind of coming back together. I'm getting back to reality from the events of the last few months of my life, but things are good. Things are looking good. Back in my creative space and just back to living daily life. I'm just booking performances for next year, and yeah.
What you do is so cool. For the listeners who may not be familiar with your line of work yet, can you give us a quick rundown of who you are and what you do?
Well, like you said, I'm Tovaun Anthony. I go by the stage name AEOXIS. That's also my handle everywhere. Yeah, I'm a musician, Muay Thai fighter. I used to just say practitioner, but then I started competing, so yay, fighter. Digital artist. I wear many hats. Somehow I became the funny guy on the internet with my content. So I was like, oh, okay, well, if it can bring people laughs, I'll do that. Share my art every once in a while. And yeah, I just like to remain active in any way I can.
Yeah, I mean, how did your journey into martial arts first begin?
Silly story. Told this a couple of times, but it's just the truth. So my mother used to have the old Thai bow tapes with Billy Blanks doing the stuff like those videos and whatnot. And I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And she's like, he actually like is a champion in martial arts. I was like, huh? And then she showed me some videos and I was like, I want to be like that guy. And so she put me into Taekwondo when I was a kid, stuck with that for a little bit, but then got away from it because all my friends were playing basketball. So I jumped in there for a while. But just over the years, I was constantly either sparring or learning stuff at different dojos and different friends of mine who stuck with martial arts in general. We most of my close friends studied at least one or two arts, and they all did different styles. So I always had the kung fu buddy, the boxing buddy, the wrestling buddy, stuff like that. So I'm like, I really like doing this. But it wasn't until maybe 2016 that I decided to pursue Muay Thai because I wanted to just get back into something myself, something that would tax me every day. And martial arts just kept calling me back. So once I got to the gym I was at in DC at the time, um, I just fell in love with it and I just kept running.
Yeah, I want to bounce off of that. I mean, how does martial arts like shape you beyond just fighting?
Well, martial arts in general, that brings a discipline to like anybody, especially kids, but especially grown adults, once you actually like commit to it. Um, and just if you take what you learn in the gym, it's not just about the punches and the kicks. It's about just building that resilience, understanding that like, hey, sometimes it's like high stakes problem solving, stuff like that, where it's just like, okay, well, whatever you're dealing with right here, deal with this right here. All that nonsense can stay outside. Whatever the actual issue is, go towards that goal. And of course, there's, the community aspect of it and everything that it's actually helped me socialize. I was a very introverted person. I still kind of am. I like to call myself a conditioned ambivert. But it's put me in a place where it's kind of just taken um my attitude or my what is it? Basically how I look at stressful situations and learn that you don't really gotta lose your head, stuff like that. So, and it almost makes any other task easier. I'm like, huh? All I gotta do is code something today. Cool. It's better than getting beat up by Vlad. Like,
There's something relaxing in it. I punch a bag every once in a while, but
mhm.
actually going into the ring like you and going to training camp and preparing for a fight is totally different than what I do. But with you sharing that little insight, actually kind of motivates me in a way.
Jump in, keep going, keep going.
Yeah, I want to dive into that. I mean, how did your last Muay Thai fight go, and did it go as you expected?
Yeah, it went as I expected. It was a lot leading up to that day because of course I had the fight going on, but I was unfortunately the caretaker for my father during his final, months here. So when he passed away, it was more like okay, I'm really just doing this, one, because I'd worked so hard to get here, but also he wouldn't want me to quit as much as I kind of wanted to not do anything. Like he wouldn't want me to quit. So to me, I thought that was respectful to him, his final wishes and stuff like that. So I went in there and I was just who I was. I was just free. So the fight went how I kind of expected. I was like, well, I'm either going to get a later finish or I'm going to go all the way through the fight. I'm not really going to be any trouble. And it was the latter. It was the latter. My opponent, Colin Riddle, shout out to you. Cool kid. He and I are going to train together soon. He put up a decent fight, but it was just experience that won the fight. So I just knew after a while what I needed to do, and I felt fine. Even though, good gosh almighty, I kicked that kid so many times, but he was so durable, I was limping after the fight.
It was a fun fight to watch.
It was fun to be in. It wasn't really until maybe the second round that I kind of was just sitting here like, oh, I'm having fun. Wow, this is cool. Oh wait, he's trying to hit me. Whoop. Okay. So it was really fun. And then watching it back, I'm like, I did all that. Wow, nice.
Now, Tavon, can you break this down for me? I'm not familiar. Is Muay Thai, how do you compare that to kickboxing?
Difference is just the competitive rule set, I would say. Because in kickboxing, depending on the organization, you can throw knees, but there are no elbows, right? So kickboxing, punches, kicks, you might be able to throw knees in competition. Muay Thai involves elbows, involves extended clinch. So that's really mainly the difference. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what is your training camp like when you're training to be a Muay Thai fighter?
For me, it's a lot of conditioning. The fight team at Travel Train Teach, one thing that you're never gonna have a problem with when you get in that ring, you're never gonna say, "Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted," unless like your opponent's a different kind of pace type of person. Like we're always very, very well conditioned, and the fight team there, we're guys that have been training for a good amount of time. It takes a while for you to even get into the fighter program. So it's a lot of gyms, no shade to anybody, that will kind of allow anyone that just seems like they're ready to go to run into it. And that's not really what we do. So we make sure you have a certain level of experience, a certain level of control, and then we make sure mentally hey, is this what you want to do? And then during camp, it's a lot of refining skills, and because you kind of know how to fight, period. Like how to fight, but it's more of fine-tuning certain techniques of yours and just keeping in mind pacing and everything on the in-between. And then we do situational based stuff. We'll even have days where you come into the gym and it's set up like a fight, where it's just like you're gonna do the ceremonial dance, you're gonna line up against whoever the heck your opponent is, and you guys are going to go at it. Clearly, you're not trying to kill each other in there, but it's a whole simulation. So we have the simulation weeks. We have what we call stress week, where it's just constant. So if you are like the only guy that has a fight coming up, now it's Shark Tank time. So you don't really get to step out of sparring or whatever we're doing at that time, whether it's sparring rounds or intense pad rounds. Like, yeah, you'll get through it and you're like, you might be sweating tired, and they're like, nope, here comes the next guy. You're just, here comes the next guy. Here comes the next guy. I'm dead. Like, but you just got to keep going. So a lot of conditioning, a lot of fine tuning, but the coaches there, they're very, very they listen. So if there's anything that you feel like you're dealing with or they know is your strength, they try to work on the other aspects of it too, to balance some things out. But they are very big on, hey, let's go ahead and throw the ego out here, because that's what happens a lot in camp. Sometimes you might want to do something, and if it might be to a diminishing return or might be a double-edged sword, like, yeah, this can go really well, but it could also be your worst enemy in case something else happens. They just try to keep you in the right state of mind. So that's how it kind of looks for me.
Yeah, what I've learned from my own podcast, I've interviewed UFC Hall of Famers to bare knuckle fighters to people that wrestle and fight and box. Always get a coach before you go into the ring or the cage.
Oh, yeah.
Have some type of training. Don't just go into it with no training at all.
And there's a bunch of people that do it, and God bless them. It's just I've been to spots where I'll be like, oh, so what gym you train out of? They're like, gym? And I'm like, uh-oh. Or and they might be like a ex-Marine or just some or which a lot of times those guys do pretty well. Or somebody that just had an interest in it. And they're like, well, I'm in shape. We'll see what happens. Like, you don't want to just be in shape and see what happens. You think you're in shape. Fight shape's different, okay? It's totally different. But yeah, man, no, you want to have a coach. You want to have a head coach too. There are a lot of independent fighters, and not like independent, like you might be an independent boxer where you're contracting each one. You're not necessarily under organization. What I mean is, like, you don't have a home gym. You might be training with someone, or you might be training yourself. That can get you to a certain point, depending on how talented you are, depending on how disciplined you are yourself. But until you have those other eyes, those eyes looking at what you do, those other bodies to work with, it's going to be really hard once you get to a certain point. And that's definitely what I recommend. Definitely get to a gym where the coaches are open to listening, open to your goals, because not everybody wants to be a world champion. Not everybody even wants to fight. So just, yeah, definitely go somewhere where the coach has got your back.
Now, Tavon, can you break it down for me? I mean, how do you mentally prepare before a fight?
Um, well, I'm the type of person that thinks of every horrific scenario in the worst case. And I grew up on Looney Tunes, so I think of like absurd stuff like that could possibly happen to you. Like, how would I slip on a banana peel in the ring if a banana peel isn't there? Somebody throws one in, like Mario Kart or something. No, but I normally I start by just thinking, okay, well, remember, at the end of the day, you're human, just like that person across from you. It's not impossible for things to go wrong. Do I ever think of the idea of me losing after that? Like, after like the first couple of days where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I think of every possible way things can go wrong, and then I go, I just kind of throw it out of the window and focus on how I could be the most successful. That's it. And at that point, that's when the idea of losing is nowhere in my mind. Nothing stopping me unless you stop me. That's how I feel about it. And I am not a person, whether it was exhibitions, whether it's the recent fight, that was my debut that happened, or anything like that. It's just like, I look at it how I looked at any sport that I played. Where I ran track, I did basketball growing up. I'm like, you are my biggest test until proven otherwise. That's how I look at it. So even with my fight recently, people were asking me, like, how do you feel about your opponent? And, I was telling them, like, or how do you feel about the fight coming up? I was like, well, I'm nervous. Like, I'm very nervous. And they're like, nervous? Like, nervous? Well, I'm like, oh, it's not that I'm scared. I'm not scared of him. I'm not nervous of him. I'm just looking at, like, okay, well, are you doing what you're supposed to do to get there? That's it. And the day of, I'm not really thinking of anything, whether it came to exhibitions. Now, fight day, like I said, I was dealing with the passing of my father. So that was on my mind big. But other than that, it was a bunch of joy around me. So I just felt really good. And by the time I got in the ring, I was so blank that, like I said, it didn't really dawn on me certain things were happening until round two.
I would feel like some type of butterflies should be in your body at that point because you're going into a fight. You don't know what to expect. Every fighter develops a personal mental routine to stay grounded.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know there are a lot of guys who have their own, like a better word, rituals that day, right? Like they might wear the same kind of outfit, eat the same kind of food, take the same route to a venue, little things, right? In order to keep themselves in a certain space, or they turn off the phone and not answering it, this, that, and the other. They just want to stay in a certain space. For me, it's like, I have explained before, like even before my first exhibition, right? Shout out to my friend Lawrence who knocked me upside the head. Oh my goodness. Like, I will admit every single time they raised my hand in that, because they were actually choosing the winner that night. They raised my hand, but I'm like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. He hits like a truck. Um, but for me, I've always said that I'm more nervous getting on stage and playing guitar, playing my music in front of people than fighting. Because with doing a show, I'm like, well, I'm going to play my music, and I'm way more critical over that style of art than fighting. I'm like, I'm either going to win or I'm going to lose. And at that point, it's all muscle memory there. Like with playing my music live, it's a lot of improvisation. So fighting, there's improvisation too, but in playing guitar solos, stuff like that, it's like, okay, how do I connect with the crowd the most in this moment? It's really about me and a crowd and then the band, and we're all making this big experience together. Fighting, it's me and that guy. I don't care about anybody outside. There's not a cheer or a boo that's going to help me or hinder him. It's literally me and the problem that's in front of me. And I'm like, that's all I have to worry about right now? Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Now, I will say during the last fight, there was one time I got hit and I was like, ooh, can't let that happen again. So that's where I wouldn't say nerves came in, but it was definitely a sense of like urgency, like, no, no.
Now, before you began the fight, you
Mhm.
did this routine. Do you do that before every fight? And can you break that down for the listeners, what you did?
Which routine are you talking about? The Y crew dance or well, matter of fact, I'll just include it all. So of course, the Y crew is the ceremonial dance that Thai fighters do before. There are long versions of it. There's a short version I did where I kind of just went to the ground, prayer hands up, went to the ground, prayer hands up. And when I stepped backwards, in my mind, I was going to look at my opponent and walk backwards and just keep my eyes on him. I took a step, but I just didn't, my footing was kind of weird. So the first step, I tried to catch myself and it was a stomp. So I kept stomping back and I like did like a bow and arrow towards the guy and everyone's like, oh, I was like, wow, well, I pulled that off. Okay.
Really get the crowd going there.
I was like, okay, whoop-de-doo. I was like, I'll tell them that was a mistake later. But after that, I ended up drawing two logos in the air. One is my AEOXIS logo, which looks like a stylized A, and the other one was the logo of my gym that's literally a T and 3 dashes. So it's Travel Train Teach. So it's T3. I did that, and the one thing I do before everything, like including my exhibitions, even down to sparring, I will always, prior to a fight, throw one jab and then drop back into kind of a Taekwondo bounce as it's just a reminder where I come from. Taekwondo was my first start, but also my head coach, Ron Young, who I look at as a big brother, I look at him as a mentor. And in his first fight years ago when I met him, he threw a punch like that right before he fought. And that's just kind of me paying tribute to him. And I told him that right before the fight. He just kind of laughed at me and was like, okay. He's like, but he wanted to sit down because he gets to business right then and there where he's like, okay, my guy's about to go in. So he's thinking of everything else. And I'm over here about to whine like a baby. And he knows I will if he sticks around and talks about it. So I'm like, you know why I throw the punch before the fight? And he's like, oh boy, here he goes.
It reminds me of like a master of like Naruto. Like he's like, it's like, oh, that's his master. He's gonna do one of his like his what is it called? Jitsus?
Jutsu, yeah.
So it reminds me of that, like, sharing it like for your
Mhm.
master.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how it felt. Like the exhibitions I did leading up to it, I was like, huh, yeah, that felt good. And then the day of the fight, when I did it, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. I feel comfortable. I feel at home. And then once again, blank until round two.
With these boxing fights that happen over the weekend, I want to dive into just the two questions I have for you, and then we'll go back into everything about you. But I want to get your reaction. What was your
That's right.
reaction when you realized Jake Paul went 6 rounds?
Man, I was looking at it and I'm not going to say it's easy to do when you're on the bike, but it's a much higher probability that you're going to go those rounds if you're on the bike. And Jake was on the bike the whole time. But, rightfully so. You have a guy that has longer reach than you. He's way bigger than you. And he is more skillful than you. I know, what was the other guy in MVP Promotions? He said it wasn't a matter of skill, it was a matter of size. It's like, okay, first of all, don't say that, because you're discounting that Joshua is an Olympic gold medalist and former heavyweight champion. And you're also, the fact that you could say that out of your mouth, and a former cruiserweight is the heavyweight champion right now. Come on, man. But yeah, like him going 6 rounds, there's nothing in my mind that makes me think that he actually thought he was going to win that fight at all. But to survive that long, hey, by all means, there are, memes and articles coming out. They're like, oh, well, he lasted longer than Ngannou. Like, well, Ngannou stood right in front of him. And that's a bad idea to do against a guy that is not only better than you at boxing, but has a style that is meant to absolutely destroy you. So if you stand in front and you try to fight the guy like that, yeah, you're probably going to get waxed really quickly. But if you're doing what you can to play survival mode, you can last a little while.
Yeah, so, Jake Paul got his jaw absolutely destroyed.
Teeth messed up, everything. Oh, man. When I saw his head snap like that, I said, oh, baby boy. Oof. God bless him.
He got that big bag of money, though.
Oh, 1,000%. I was like, hey, look, that hospital bill gonna be funny, but it ain't gonna be as fun as that check he sees.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Hey, listen, I'm not, you think I wouldn't jump up in there for that type of money with Anthony Joshua? I'm like, all right, listen. Worst that happens is I get knocked out. That's a big man, though. That dude outweighs me by like 100 pounds. I ain't got nothing for that.
Oh, I have nothing for that either. I'm just gonna stay in my own lane over here. Now, I want to bounce off the other fight that happened too. What was your first thought that went through your head when you found out Andrew Tate lost?
So, I'm not gonna lie. I was way less interested in that because I was like, okay, what kind of fight are they doing? It didn't even dawn on me. I was like, well, because somebody asked me, was I going to watch it a while ago? I said, he's fighting? They said, yeah. But I didn't know what kind of fight it was. So I was like, well, if it's kickboxing, he might be all right. But it was just a boxing fight, right? Or something like that. Well, either way, I saw him in trouble. I saw a lot of clips of him in trouble. And all it made me think was, well, this is what happens when you take a lot of time off. And you're doing too many things. You're doing way too many things, and you jumped in there against a guy that, he might not be the most elite dude in the world. He might not be that, but he's consistent. He's still in there. So now you have a problem of cardio, of which I definitely saw that. So I just think if you're going to be the type of person that talks all that stuff, hey, man, you took your lumps. Right? Like, for me, when it comes to fighters and like the entertainment aspect of it, when they're talking a whole bunch of crap and doing all this stuff, I'm like, okay, cool. I kind of blanked all that out the moment the bell rings. And I'm like, well, now you got to do what you're able to do. And if that's not enough, oof, that's going to suck. But the fact that both he and Jake just got mollywopped, it was just like, whoa, guys, please. But Jake's was way more understandable. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and Andrew Tate, he went right for the belt. I think he bought that league, and then he said he was going to fight the champion. That's how it went down, and that's how the cards are dealt.
Yeah, no, that's how the cards are dealt. And then once again, you're going at a champion. This is a guy that does not want to lose it, and you're coming in off of, I don't know when's the last time he actually fought. So it's like, how is this actually going to affect you? I understand that you're doing this because you did buy the promotion, right? And you're trying to invest in it as much as you can, and you can get a little bit more off the top. But I don't know, man. It's like, Heihachi Mishima is a fictional character for a reason. That's Tekken. It's like, you can't, owning an organization and fighting in it is not a good idea. This isn't WWE. You can't be like the commentators. Oh, yeah, take off the headset, get in the ring, and clothesline a guy. Like, relax. Relax. The only guy that was able to do that, and he was champion at the time, was Daniel Cormier. And that's it.
Yeah, I've interviewed some people like Dan Severn. He
Hmm.
was a UFC Hall of Famer, and he was a
Yep.
wrestler, and he just did multiple hats at once. And then he
Yeah.
even went into the WWE. Like he just
Hmm.
loved fighting. He loved the whole thing about it. And that was the only person I knew that actually kind of just stayed with it over time.
Hmm. Yeah. When it's your life, it's your life. And
Hmm.
if you can make it last as long as you can, hey, by all means. You know, you got guys that they did multiple things too. Brock Lesnar being one of them, right? Like, of course, WWE superstar, NCAA champion, UFC champion. It's like, gosh, dang it, man. All you needed was the Olympics, But yeah, if you can make it all happen, have as much fun with it as you can, shoot. That's a dream right there. That's living a dream, but it's hard. It's hard. So
Tavon, I want to bring this
that's off.
back over to you. I mean,
Mhm.
how did anime become such a big part of your identity?
So funny thing. So I was raised in Southeast DC up until I moved out to Maryland. And around there, it's like growing up, it wasn't a lot of that amongst my peers, but my older brother's friends were like the type of guys who were trying to keep me out of trouble. So they're like, hey, this is Dragon Ball Z. Hey, this is Sonic. Hey, this is, and they had me playing all types of video games. That's how I became a nerd, right? I'm like, so the most ridiculous human beings I ever met in my life, like acting, doing what they were doing outside, all things illegal, were just like, yeah, you're not going to do this. You're gonna do that, and you like to draw. Okay, cool. We're gonna buy you sketchbooks. Yay! Oh, huh. All right, cool. So, um, yeah, I got the bug from watching Dragon Ball Z, watching Sailor Moon, Outlaw Star, stuff like that, and it just it just kept me. So I never got away from it. Just as a kid, and over time, I got more into isekais, which are, I mean, just anime where a person goes from real life to another world, right? Or real life anime story to another world, whether they have superpowers or something like that, and they have to navigate through there. And I just love it. I just love it. It's entertaining. I also like rom coms and anime too, because I'm like, this is preposterous, but that's
I
what
love it
you
too
should do.
myself, by the way. Anime is something that everyone should dive a little bit into, even if you
Hmm.
don't, you think it's weird, it's a kid show, you think it's a cartoon or something like that. I dip your toe. If you don't like one anime, try another. There's lots of them. And
Something for everyone.
yes, exactly. Do you have some anime characters that influence your fighting style or like mindset?
Ooh, okay. Anime characters that specifically anime characters. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. Definitely Apachai from History's Mightiest Disciple, Kenichi. Who else would I say? Oh man. Um, I guess my I don't want to say temperament, but like how I am when I'm in a ring and I'm feeling very good, and how I like to kind of hype myself up would be like Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins, where it's just like, oh yeah, you can't beat me. There's no way you can beat me. That is just in my mind at this point. No, like you can't. But specifically like running the hands. Let me see.
I'm
We got
surprised you're not saying like Goku or like
oh man,
Vegeta.
see, I would say Goku, but it's like if I could really decipher his style, right? Like clearly like his stance is one thing, how he like jumps around. I like doing that. I'm not gonna lie. So I can say Goku is definitely influenced right before the fight when I'm bouncing and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's time to go, boy. So that definitely happens. Kakashi from and Kakashi and Might Guy from Naruto. Definitely. Um and I would also say what in the world is that guy's name? Oh goodness, Ippo, Hajime no Ippo. No Ippo, yeah. Because
No,
like I just the wild punches he throws. That's what I like, even though I rarely throw them.
no, I love that. You just have a lot of different styles there.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Especially because with History's Mightiest Disciple, Kenichi, History's Mightiest Disciple, because the whole concept is the main character goes to a gym that has, well, a dojo with all these different styles. I'm like, I love this. So just thinking about it, and watching each one of these characters, and Apachai for me, it wasn't just the fact that he was a Muay Thai fighter, because this was years before I started training Muay Thai myself. Um, it was just his temperament, his attitude, how he was always silly, but when it was go time, it was go time. So I'm like, huh. And that's what kind of sparked my interest into Muay Thai in general and made me start watching fights. And I'm like, oh, this stuff is intense. Just as intense as they portray it. So yeah, no, they definitely influenced my style a lot.
Now, do you have any animes that influenced your mindset?
My mindset, I would say, oh man, influenced my mindset. Once again, I'll say Seven Deadly Sins because I really like the character of Escanor, both of his sides, when he's regular and then when he's Sunshine Escanor, when he believes he's unbeatable. But his regular form, very humble, kind of just in the back. He's not really trying to cause any trouble. I'm like, oh man, that reminds me of myself. But then sometimes I'm a prideful man. But just seeing how they navigate through their own issues and how they come through their own resolve. I do like the characters of Seven Deadly Sins. That influences me like in that way. And I would also say probably what is the lead character? Because I haven't watched this show in a minute. Lead character is Naofumi from Shield Hero, definitely. Due to his resolve and how he just, even though odds were stacked against him, he's just like, okay, I got to figure this out. I got to move forward. I got to get it right. So I like that. And then also Vegeta. Let's just be honest. Like, even though heinous in the beginning, but what has some of the most character development in the freaking series from who he was to who he is. And that's like a testament to not only how he holds his pride, but then how it has evolved over time. And it showed me, because I'm a very stubborn person in general. It showed me growing up. I'm like, okay, like sometimes you got to listen to reason, or sometimes you might have to get to a point where you might get broken but you got to take from it instead of just sitting there and let it break you. That's it. So definitely Vegeta.
Now, Tavon, for like a listener out there that says like anime isn't for me, what's an anime you would recommend first for them to try?
Oh man, that would really depend on what they're into as far as genres in general, right? Because a lot of the times when I hear someone say, "Oh, anime isn't for me," it's like either they watched something that just doesn't align with them at all, or it's like it'll still get back to not aligning with them at all. Like they just saw something on the internet and was like, okay, what is this, right? Like, for a while, it took me a while to even watch Berserk, because I saw the original animation final scene and that made me go, oh, hell no. Like, and I was just like, anything that looks like that, I'm not watching it, period. And of course, it's leading up to that point, you're like, okay, yeah, I probably would have been a little prepped for this mentally and emotionally if I watched the entire series. But any anime that I would recommend out the gate, I guess I would say if you're looking for something kind of funny and silly, once again, because I'm an isekai guy, I would say Konosuba, because it's just funny. It can have serious moments, but it'll give you something to laugh at. If you want something a little bit more serious, watch ReZero, Starting Life in Another World. That is my favorite anime right now. And it's, to me, just kind of gives you a real feeling of how somebody would actually navigate through a world when, it's not, you're not coming in some OP character with a legendary power. It's like, oh crap, I'm here. And not only do I not understand the lingo of some of what's going on here, I don't understand the cultural references. I don't understand why when I say certain things, people are looking to beat me up or throw me out the city or even kill me. Like, I don't understand the politics. That's why I like that show. Another one, I would say give Cowboy Bebop. Definitely give Cowboy Bebop a run, and Yu Yu Hakusho. I gotta give it to the oldies, man. I gotta, I'm like oldies. Yeah, I was young when I was watching them, but gotta give it to them. It's like if I were to say out of the big three of my time in high school, whether it's Naruto, One Piece, or Bleach, I would say watch Bleach. Oh, watch Bleach.
Why is that out of those three?
I just feel like I just feel like I I just felt a little bit more about all the characters. In Naruto, that you have it's such a broad list of characters and they all have good character development. I will not throw that away. But just after a while, Bleach I just connected with it a little bit more. So yeah, I'll say Bleach.
I love that because if you want to go through a journey, Naruto is it for me.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. And you can align with almost like there's a character in Naruto for everyone. Like I say, there's a show for everyone. There's a character in Naruto for everyone. So yeah. Who's your favorite Naruto character?
It's weird if I say Naruto, but it's Naruto.
Hey, understandable. Understandable. In the beginning, I was like, huh. And then later on, I'm like, I like this kid. Jeez, man. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I was always a Rock Lee guy. And then, of course, a lot of people are an Itachi person. But yeah, no, it's like Naruto himself grew on me so much that all I wanted to see was him win. That's it. So
it's the journey. It's what it's all about. I love that part of it. You know, you start off with him just being a young kid, and then you go through the whole journey of him. I don't want to spoil it for people, but you know, going on his journey.
Not only like it's just no, because I'll start spoiling too. I'll get the rambling, dude. I get it.
You know, you are probably the only person I can talk to that I know of that I can ask this question to. I mean, how do like anime training arcs compare to like real life training fighting?
Oh man. Well, some days it's just like it. You're gonna have those days where you're feeling unbeatable, almost like that first episode, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. Heck yeah. And then you're gonna have the days where you see a mountain that you're like, I don't know if I can climb this. And it's you start having that inner monologue of like, do I really want to do this? What am I doing this for? And you start to find your resolve and you're starting to move. And when it comes time for the big event, you might like you say, some people have butterflies, or you might feel like you're the most prepared in the world. So you might come in like the guy where it's like, okay, I'm the underdog. Let's see what happens here. And then you might even surprise yourself. Or you'll come in as like that character that disappeared for an entire arc and they come back and they're just totally OP. They're just ready to go. And yeah, no, it's very similar. I'll say that. Very similar.
Now,
especially with my coaches, they're all anime fans.
You know, I want to dive into some of your content you do. I mean, can you break this down for the listeners that just don't know about what we're talking about? I mean, how did you come up with the ideas of the videos when you don't research your opponent?
So funny thing, there was a trend going on some time ago, where a bunch of people were doing the same video where the caption was when you didn't research your opponent, right? But it was really Michael Buffer announcing Manny Pacquiao. So it's like the former flyweight, the former super bantamweight, the former. I'm like, is that Manny? And like, so a friend of mine told me, he was like, hey, you should jump on this. I'm like, I'm not really a trendy guy, but he said, no, you should give this a shot. But then I saw a former coach of mine, he did it, and I thought it was so funny. And I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to do it like that. You know what? And it was like, I had 15 minutes before I had to leave the house. And I recorded it. I just kind of recorded me acting like, what's going on here? And then I decided that the character would be Broly. Or who I was fighting would be Broly. So I started saying all this crazy stuff about him, 100 wins, no losses, all this stuff. And then when I put like the Saiyan aura in there and everything, I just thought it was so silly that when I uploaded it, left, and did what I needed to do that night, I come back, I'm like, whoa, people are laughing at this. And yeah, that's just what it was, because to me, I was like, I wanted to kind of jump on that trend, but also bring in like what I like, a part of myself into it. So it wasn't just like, okay, this thing. Because some cats, they didn't even know that was about Manny Pacquiao. They didn't know who the announcer was, none of that. And I'm like, okay, well, cool. So I'm going to say something that'll appeal to anime fans or cats that I know and stuff like that. And this is how I would react if I'm lining up and you're telling me this dude is a planet buster. Like, huh? How would you set me up like this? Even like the rhetoric with the coaches. Why did you do this? Why did you sign me up for this?
I
That's
loved it
exactly how I
because it
feel.
kept me guessing who it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it became over time, right? Because in the beginning, it was more like, okay, couple of things here and then reveal the guy, whatever. But then it became like more of a guessing game. And I still like it. I actually have one queued up, which I got to put like one more effect on since I'm bringing that back. I just liked the story that I started developing with it too, because it wasn't just, okay, yeah, guess this opponent. Then you started to understand that the character of T, there's a reason why he fights. And then he meets a certain someone. For the people who are going to watch the episodes, and I ain't going to spoil it for you. He meets a certain someone who now he wants to, like, he feels like he wants to fight alongside him or do something for him. And the journey goes on from there. So yeah, you have the guessing game, you have the comedy aspect of, oh goodness me, why am I in this scenario? And then you have but when is he going to fight this specific person? So.
You know, I love your personality. I mean, how do you think your background as a performer helped you connect with your audience?
I think it helped a lot. Once again, that was one of the things that kind of got me out of my introverted shell. And it just taught me that there are so many people on this planet. You can just be you, and it's billions of people out here. Even if you connected with 0.5% that align with you, that is a lot of human beings. So you don't have to worry about anybody looking at you funny. If they do, who cares? Have fun. Do what you want to do, man. You don't have to worry about those things. Somebody is going to be touched by what you do. And that's what just translated over. It just worked that way for me.
I really found you off one video, and it was your morning motivation videos. I mean, how did that start?
Goodness. Oh my goodness. I actually started doing that some years ago. I think, yeah, pre-pandemic, actually. I just, every once in a while, I'll bring them back, right? But before I would get on the train to go to work, I would park where I would park. And then there was just a week where I was kind of like just not feeling motivated to get up and go to work at all. And I'm like, okay, I don't know I'm going to do a pep talk. So the first day I kind of did it and it was just to myself. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to share this energy with other people. So then it became almost like an everyday thing for a while where I would get up. Oh yeah, it's Monday. Oh yeah, it's Tuesday. Oh yeah, it's Wednesday. Just going in, right? And every once in a while I'll bring it back with kind of a new flair, because with more time going by, you have different influences. You feel different. You might even speak different in some cases. And that's why recently, with the ones that I've done, that's me just kind of starting off with the whole, yeah, because that's how I feel. Like there was a while where I would wake up like that just to kind of get myself going, just, yeah. And I'll say this, don't do this if you have a skittish girlfriend, but because years ago I used to wake up like that, and a person I was dating at the time, oh God bless her soul, I used to, her heart would be beating out of her chest. I'm like, oh, I forgot you were here. Sorry.
I would love if you would post one of those for Every Day is Friday when the podcast drops, if you feel motivated.
Hey, listen, I'm down. And make sure you listen to Every Day is Friday. Yeah, let's kill this thing.
Now, for anyone that's watching this that is struggling to get out of bed, I want to ask you this because your motivation really motivated me. I mean, what's one piece of advice you would give them today?
The struggling to get out of bed? Listen, man, your day doesn't start without you. It does not start without you. And you might feel like you have a lot of weight on you right now, right? You might feel like there's this huge mountain to climb. But the one thing I like to tell myself, and I like to tell other people, that this big old mountain, at the end of the day, it's still your mountain and is waiting for you to put the flag at the top. That's it. Like, yeah, these are my problems. I'm bigger than this. You think it's bigger than you. No, you're bigger than it, because once you get over it, you'll look down and say, dang.
I love
what
that.
was I worried about?
That is so simple and real, and like something people can actually use today.
Mhm. Oh, no, that's how I look at life. You know, I fortunately for me growing up, I had a lot of very positive figures. A lot of very positive figures in my life. And they were very practical. They, kept me grounded, but at the same time, they're just like, dude, like a lot of the stuff that you worry about, you're making literally a mountain out of an anthill. And after sitting back and kind of seeing how a lot of these guys that I grew up around would assess certain scenarios that I would look at as the most stressful ever, right? And they're just like, no, because at the end of the day, the work just got to get done.
I love that.
That's
Every
it.
day is Friday mentality right there. The day's
Mm-hmm.
not going to start without you.
Nope. Exactly.
And
Love it.
this is a part of the show. I want to transition to the Friday mindset part of the show. I want to dig into your journey, your mindset, and the moments that really shaped you.
Mm.
So just say like a young Tavon Anthony is watching this video at home right now. I mean, what's the best piece of advice you would give him?
The best piece of advice I would give a young Tavon Anthony is understand that slowing down it isn't as devastating to your life as you think. Younger me did a lot of moving and running and never really sat to think or sat to reflect or just sat to breathe. So I didn't understand that plus other elements going on at the time was catering to mental fatigue, emotional fatigue. I ended up becoming depressed. I didn't even know I could be depressed. I had a very bad uh viewpoint of what depression was. So I was like, nah, there ain't no way that's me. And I would just keep neglecting my mental health and things like that and just kept running, kept running, kept running until you hit the wall, right? So it's just more like, hey, slowing down isn't the worst thing in the world. That's it, dude. Just slow down and take a breath. Because if you don't breathe, well, you go out.
Now, if there's a young kid at home that wants to do what you do today, what's the best piece of advice you can give them?
Just be yourself. Straight up, I'm gonna tell you, just like my older brother always told me when I was younger, because to me, he was the coolest dude in the world. Amazing athlete. Anything he wanted to do, he could do. His oldest son is like me times 12 because he has both him and me to, like as influences. I would just say be yourself. Like, don't worry too much about what everyone else is doing. Of course, you can have your influences, right? Maybe that gets you into something that you're passionate about and like that you just want to do, but find what you want to do, find what you're passionate about, and just be yourself while you're doing it. And if it takes time to find what you're passionate about, that's okay. That's okay. If you pick something up and you feel like you're gonna stick with it, but then you lose that spark for it, that's okay. This is why you live life. You have this time to learn, to experience. So, yeah, just pursue life and just be yourself while you're doing it.
Now, what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice I've ever received. Oh my, I've had a lot of people talk to me. Um, dang, you hit me right in the head. Oh my goodness, best piece of advice is what the heck was it? Oh my goodness, I'm thinking of him right now. And there's a guy who I call him my mentor. He hates it when I say that because he's like, it makes me sound old. I'm like, well, you're older than me. Um but what the heck did he say to me? Um it was something along the lines of being forever a student, right? That's just it. But just the way he worded it, I'm like, that was cool. But oh, did it like show itself to me from that moment on? But it was just along the lines of be a forever student and be open. That's it. So that's what I can say there. And then I guess my head coach Ron, he told me when I started doing Muay Thai stuff like that, if you could take the philosophies that I was learning there and apply it to the rest of your life, the discipline and then, finding your center and all this other stuff and apply that in different ways. If you could take the positives of one thing and apply it to other aspects of your life, you'll be all right.
I love that. because, knowledge is so powerful, and, what you're given and what you got to keep learning as much as you can.
Yeah.
And I really want to know what's next for you, inside the ring and online.
Well, what's next for me inside the ring? I plan on competing at the USA Muay Thai Grand Nationals in Delaware in March next year. So it'll be me and a few other people from Travel Train Teach competing in that, various weight classes. I'll be competing at 154 because I refuse to cut weight. And as far as content goes, when you research your opponent, that episode's coming out soon. I know it's been forever since I've done one, but bringing that out, I'm actually going to be introducing some new stuff that I've been working on for a long time. I'm still working on an animation that I've been working on for a while. Now it's to the point where it's just like I got to get my guys and I'm going to voice act some things. And yeah, I'm just keeping the ball rolling. Performances happening next year. I got a couple in January out here in Baltimore, and then we're going to see what's going on down the line. I'll see if I'll hit up a couple of conventions or something like that and just live life, man. Live it to the fullest.
Every day is Friday.
Yes,
and the
indeed.
show is called Every Day is Friday, and Friday has a special energy, whether it's freedom, excitement, or just feeling of accomplishment after a long week. I want to hear from you. What does Friday mean to you?
Oh, yeah, it's Friday, y'all. Let me stop. No, Friday to me, I'm like, oh, I get to kick my feet up. I get to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I get to just be all right. I get to chill a little bit. Okay. Don't got to worry. I got over the mountain. My flag's at the top. I feel good. That's how I feel about Fridays. Mm-hmm.
Bring that energy into everyday life. Every day is Friday. Yeah. And this is your chance to leave the listeners with something powerful. Is there anything else you want to share?
Oh, man. Not the spotlight. Two things. Number one, listen to J Diggs music. Number two, truly, if there's anything that I said on this podcast that stuck with you, just understand I mean every single one of it. Like, every day is a new journey. Every day when you wake up, that's an opportunity. If you have any doubts about yourself, understand that doubt is just another stepping stone. If you have jitters about something, never look at anything as fear. You don't have to fear anything. Look at that fear and turn it into excitement. If you didn't have the jitters, it means you don't care. There's a reason why you're here, and there's a reason why you need to keep moving. So keep doing your darn thing out there, guys.
Yes, so true. I mean, growth usually comes with the next uncomfortable step. So remember that. Keep stepping, keep striving to be great, and go chase after your dreams, because your dreams will not chase you. And you only get so many summers in a lifetime, everybody. And all your information will be in the description down below. I want to make sure that people know where to find you and support your work. Yeah.
You can find me anywhere on the internet at AEOXIS, AEOXIS. I'm literally the only guy up there. And yeah, no, that's it. And stay tuned for me posting where I'm going to be and what I'm doing, whether it's music, fighting, comedy. Hey, I'm out here.
You know it. And that's a wrap for this episode. I know the listeners got a lot of great value out of this, and I appreciate you being here.
Of course, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing your stories and experiences. And to the listeners, stay tuned for more amazing stories on Every Day is Friday. If you enjoyed this, make sure you follow, share, and keep that Every Day is Friday mindset going. Stay inspired and make every day feel like Friday. Till next time, everybody.